Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X, STBX. And this week we are talking about this fight, this Saturday's super featherweight fight, which is Jordan Gill versus Zelfa Barrett. And joining me this week, we got Louis Ruzicka. Thanks, Louis, for coming on for the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce that all right in the end?
Yeah, close. I bet you get the same with your last name as well.
Yeah, like I said, I get it quite a lot to be honest with you all the time. But yeah, appreciate you coming on the show.
No, thank you.
Thanks for joining me. First question to you, Louis. We'll get straight into it. Gill, he's coming back from that massive upset win over Michael Conlon back in December. Were you surprised with that result?
Yeah, well, Michael Conlon was coming off a defeat as well, wasn't he? As well, and I thought it was going to be a closer fight. Well, it was quite a close fight, but then Gill just got on top, and he got the job done, didn't he, against Mick Conlon? And I think it was like a last roll of the dice, like to get another big fight for the pair of them. Really, don't really know where it goes from there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Was you shocked though? Because I think I even tipped Conlon. I thought, this should be all right. He was in Ireland, the home fighter.
Yeah, if I had to pick out the two, I would have backed Mick Conlon to get the job done. Like you said, it was in Ireland, but Jordan Gill, he's got the heart, hasn't he? You saw it in that fight. It's good if you backed into the corner. There's no quitting the man, is there?
Yeah, he definitely showed it in that fight. Definitely got the heart. Both fighters, they got a common opponent in Kiko Martinez. Barrett won on points. Gill lost in round 4.
Yes.
But no one likes fighting Martinez, right?
Yeah. Oh, honestly, yeah. He seems to be a nightmare fighter. I like watching him fight. He's one of them. He's got the heart as well. He's got no quit. Like when he fought Barrett and he fought Jordan Gill, I thought, you just don't know with Kiko Martinez, and he showed against Jordan Gill that he still got it.
Yeah, like I said, no one likes fighting Martinez anywhere. Yeah. I don't think. Both the fighters, Gill and Barrett, have pretty much similar records.
Yes.
The only real difference I can see is the KOs from Barrett.
Yes.
Do you think this makes it quite an even fight?
Yeah, definitely, because with that left hook from Zelfa, he can just end it at any time. He's very, very good, and Jordan's going to have to be very, very aware of that left hand from Zelfa Barrett. 100%.
Yeah, that was exactly my next question, and this picture here. Can talking about that KO from Barrett, can Gill avoid Barrett's left hook throughout the fight? You can see it there.
Yeah, well, that's what people like Rakimov had to climb off the canvas to defeat Zelfa Barrett, because that left hand can just, once it lands, you probably are going to go down, especially if you don't see it.
Yeah, it's game changer, isn't it? Really, there. It's little.
That's something he's got in his arsenal that he's helped him quite a lot throughout of his career.
Yeah, sure. The bookies have made Barrett 1-2 to win, right, while Gill was 13-8. Would you say they got that right?
I think it's a very, very even fight, and I think they've done it like that because Zelfa's in Manchester.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to give him that as well, in Manchester. You did say he is the favourite, isn't he? They made him the favourite. Sorry, Zelfa Barrett. Yeah, I think that is down to him being in Manchester as well.
The home fighter. Yeah.
The home fighter, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I saw a tweet earlier. Both these guys, they probably described it better than my question. Probably at a crossroads. It's a crossroads fight. Both really need the win, don't they? Do these make the best fights?
Yeah, definitely. Like it was almost like the same when Jordan boxed Mick Conlon. Both of them had to win to get another big fight, and I think it's Jordan, he won the fight, and then now he's in another big fight, and it's kind of the same again. Zelfa and Jordan, they both got to win the fight, but only one of them can.
Yeah.
it's going to be very, very interesting come Saturday night in Manchester. Definitely.
Yeah. It's a hard one though, isn't it? Because at this stage of your career, for both of them, you know, where do you go from that? But a win could propel you to obviously, you know, a world title shot maybe, or
I like that both of them are rolling the dice again. You know, they know that they have to take these big fights to reap the reward of, you know, getting a shot at the world title. I mean, both probably know that if they don't win, then they'll probably get that shot again. So it's going to be very, very interesting on Saturday night.
Yeah, I must admit, I do love fights like these. I love when both fighters got a win. It's a crossroads of their careers that they do make. Hopefully, they do make the best fights. I'll say that. It'd probably be a stinker now, won't it? So, but I do love fights like these.
Me too.
The fighters are expected to ring walk around 10 o'clock, that famous 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is it reasonable for fans to have all the main events on at 10 o'clock?
I don't know.
Asked for?
I don't know. You know, it just depends. It just depends, doesn't it? You know, they could do. I'd love like it if it was like, you know, 9 o'clock maybe. An hour earlier would be probably better. But it's probably going to be 9 o'clock. You know, if all the other fights go to the distance, you're probably looking at around 10:30, aren't you, for the main event?
Yeah. Because I know it's been a big talking subject with fans recently. Some, you know, main events coming on at 11, half 11. So, you know, is it fair on the fans? Not. I'm thinking of the guys who need to get home as well from the arenas and the stadiums and stuff like that.
Especially on a Saturday, they could, you know, start an hour or two earlier. You know, I think the fans, you know, I've been to many boxing events, you know, and I always make sure I always watch every fight, mate. But you know, you don't see it filling up until around, you know, your 8, 9 o'clock for your co-main events, really, or maybe the fight before. They could do it a little bit earlier, I think, for the fans to make it, you know, better for the fans.
Yeah, just to look at timings a bit. Okay, put you on the spot now. Your prediction for the fight?
Oh, I was just talking to my friend about it before we shop. It's a very, very. This one's so hard to choose, but you know, I'm from Manchester. I'm gonna back to get the win. But Jordan Gill is one of my favourite fighters, but I am going to have to back the home fighter in Zelfa Barrett.
Yeah, and way of prediction method, or what are you predicting?
I'd love it to be a close fight, and then I'd love to see that left hook come out. The left hook.
Yeah. I think personally, like I said, it's a 50-50 fight. If you had to put me on the spot, I will go Barrett as well, to be honest with you. So
saying that, I was thinking, what we said just before, you know, he did it to Mick Conlon in his backyard, Jordan Gill. You know, so he's not phased about going to someone's hometown and you know, getting.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it should be a good one. Also, we were talking a bit about the undercard. We got Ellie Scottney, Rihanna Dixon, both feature on the undercard for female fighters on the card as well. So, how do you rate them as fighters?
I think it's Ellie Scottney's, I think, second or third defense in title, and Rihanna Dixon's he's fighting for a WBO vacant title, I think it is. And you know, me and my friends, you know, we watch a lot of boxing, and the women fights they're usually some of the best on the card because of the 2 minute. They have to get the work in those 2 minute rounds.
2 minute 10 rounds as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're both, you know, the exciting fighters, you know, but both getting up. Hopefully, Rihanna gets the world title as well on Saturday, and we've got another world champion from these shores.
Yeah, that'd be great, because I would say, you know, female boxing at the moment in the UK, it's probably blooming, isn't it? Really, so.
It's some of the most exciting fights. Like I remember when I've got a couple of my friends into boxing over the last couple of years, and one of the fights that stand out to me was Ebony Bridges versus Shannon Courtney a couple of years ago. That's my favourite fights. It was from the get go just brilliant. And the Katie Taylor fights, you know, changed women's boxing, and it's exciting times for women's boxing. You know, get more and more world champions from this country.
Yeah, and it's a testament that, you know, obviously that they're featuring quite high on the cards as well, then maybe a few years ago that there would be like maybe first on or something like that. So
rightly so, there's a place on the card. Women's boxing, it's like I said, for me, there's some of the best fights on the cards. When I watch the cards, there's some of the best fights that are on there. They stand out to you, so they deserve to be where they are.
Sure. Also on the undercard, we have a couple of Manchester favourites fighting in this young man.
Yes,
Michael Gomez Jr. and
William
Crolla as well. Crolla.
Yeah.
Always tough, with that surnames, trying to make it of your own with your dad's or your brother's reputation.
Yeah.
How hard is that? Obviously, we've seen it with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. as well.
Campbell Hatton as well. He's another one.
Campbell Hatton, that's another prime one. Yeah, you've got big weight on your shoulders carrying them names, haven't you?
Got a big weight on your shoulders, but if I'm Campbell Hatton, if I'm Will Crolla, or anyone who's got a father or a brother who did well in the sport, just got to think about your own path in the sport and create your own way and try and relieve yourself of that pressure of boxing with that name. You've got to think about your own path and carve your own way out in the sport, I think.
Yeah, because me, I've been following boxing for a while, and obviously Michael Gomez still is a legend, and so is Crolla as well. So
and
you're from Manchester as well, so you must know about growing up with these guys.
Michael Gomez is a fellow Manchester City fan, so I'll be behind him on Saturday. But I think he's got a tough fight against Kane Baker. I like what he box because whether he wins or he loses, he leaves everything in the ring, and that's all you can ask for when he fights, And I think is it an English title fight? I think it is.
Yeah.
I love that sort of level because they both want to win, and it's just going to be. I think that'll be one of the best fights on the card.
Really? Okay, that's interesting because that's quite low down on the card as well, isn't it?
I'll be at the top, I guess. But it'll be one of the good ones on the card.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Overall, how do you rate the undercard? If you had to rate that undercard out of 10, what would you rate that?
You've got to give it a 7 or 8 out of 10, really, because you've got Manchester fighters on there. It's in Manchester. You can't always have a card like the Saudi Arabia cards. You've got to He's got these boxers that he's got to get out and stuff. And I think it's a really good card, especially for being from Manchester, and there's a couple of Manchester lads on there.
Yeah.
Going to be really, really good. I think I rate the card quite highly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you producing the card in Manchester, you've got to put a few good home fighters on that card. And like you said, every card can't be like, we're getting spoilt with the Saudi cards. So
I watched the Anthony Joshua and Ngannou card, and me and my friend Anthony, we proper invested into these cards. And the thing, it was after the Parker fight, and we were just, you get all worked up watching the fight, and then it's like, now we've got Ngannou, give us a break. we these cards, and now they're here. We're like, bloody hell, these need to wait a little bit.
Well, it's not a bad thing, I'm guessing, though. If it gets people attracted to the sport, following more boxing, then I think perhaps it's a good thing. Obviously that Saudi money encouraging more people to follow boxing and watch boxing as well. Before you go, Louis, I always have some ending questions, and this one quite a controversial one. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. So it's not this weekend, it's next weekend. Do you think it will happen, first of all? And should Ryan Garcia be fighting in the first place?
This is a question I've been thinking about this quite a lot. Like this quite a lot, and with some of the stuff that Garcia has been putting on social media and stuff, and there's the questions of an act. I'd be happy for the fight to go ahead as long as the right checks have been done for the fighters, just to make sure that they're both in the correct state to go into this fight. If that's case, then I'm more than happy for it to go ahead. But I wouldn't like to see, especially at this level, you don't want someone. Garcia is a great fighter, but you wouldn't want to be going in against Devin Haney if you're not 100%. It's already going to be a tough task.
Yeah,
Devin,
because obviously the sport is obviously physical and mental, isn't it? So a lot of it is mental preparation, and I'm guessing if he's not in the right frame of mind, it's probably not the best thing going into a fight against Haney.
I'd like to hope that there's correct testing going on. Not even the drug testing, just like testing the mental health. Got to be the right checks, and if all them get passed, I'm happy for the fight to go ahead. Do you think Devin Haney does edge? I'm not even going to say edge. I really like Garcia, but I think Devin Haney will do a job on him. I really do. He's one.
Yeah. There you go. You got an extra prediction there, so that's good. You got your prediction in. Well, I'm interviewing Amit next week about that fight. My first question was to him is that pay-per-view cost as well for us, the DAZN subscribers. What's your feeling on that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, we pay for the zone anyway. I don't see why it's a pay-per-view fight in this country. I don't know. I don't really agree with it. But
yeah, are you going to be paying? Are you going to be one of them ones paying, or are you going to try and watch a dodgy YouTube link the following morning?
I don't know. I'll probably end up caving and buying. I did it. I always end up doing it, and I think we've been used to doing it for years. We say we're not going to buy it, but we do. We end up buying it.
Ended up buying it. Yeah, it's a tough one for me because obviously it's not going to be until 3-4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah.
Well, I probably will. Like I said, some people like to over here will just wait till the morning, won't they? Because it's like you said, the time.
Sure. Also coming up, we've got this one. I'm going to put you on the spot as well. Who wins?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Is that a biased decision because you're from Manchester, is it?
What it has been in the build-up to this fight, obviously before the cancellation and stuff, I've been in two minds. One, I'll be saying Fury, then I think you said, if you have to put me on the spot, I'd say Tyson Fury. But how can you write Alexander Usyk off? He's he's down as one of the greats in the sport of what he did, unifying the cruiserweight division in 15 fights, I think it was. His amateur background. It's hard to write him off, but the same with Tyson Fury. But I'm honestly excited for that one. You're really excited.
How do you rate the under? Go on, sorry, Lewis, go on.
I think he's going to be too big for him. That's what I think it's going to be. Too
big, too good. Yeah, that's fair enough. How do you rate the undercard for that as well? Obviously, is there any standout fights there for you on the undercard?
Got Joe Cordina's boxing on the card. Big fan of Joe Cordina. Got Jai Opetaia boxing on the card. Yeah, that'll be like he's unbelievable.
He's got that rematch.
I think, and is it Kovalev on the card? They've put on. Yeah, I like Kovalev. He's quite old now, but he's probably. You can't ever say he's not got something left. It's good. I think it's a really good undercard. But the Jai Opetaia, Joe Cordina, but then that's for myself.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, brilliant. Well, that's pretty much it for this week. Thanks, Lewis, again for your time, for joining me. Obviously, please support the channel the best you can.
Always. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no, that's great having your opinion as well. Obviously, support the channel, likes, comments, subscriptions. Obviously, get your beers and snacks in. Most importantly, for Saturday as well. And thanks for joining me, Lewis.
Thank you. Cheers, Steve.